Welcome to Group 15's presentation. Our members are myself, Helen, along with Rizza, Colin and Yasemin. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of all the lands on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Our focus is on the differentiated teaching strategy, which occurs when teachers adjust the content of the curriculum to support the different learning needs of children. This teaching strategy supports a scaffolding of learning for each child's individual development goals. To facilitate growth and successful learning, children have the right to expect that the curriculum can be manipulated to support them, and a one-size-fits-all model of teaching can be detrimental to learning. A teacher must have sound knowledge of a child's developmental milestones and individual learning goals, along with an understanding of the child's prior knowledge, skills, and social contexts. Multiple activities are an example of differentiated learning. This occurs when teachers provide students with the opportunity to work on the same concepts and ideas, but at different levels of proficiency. Each child can therefore work within their zone of proximate development. The contemporary theorist Lev Vygotsky described a child's learning to be most optimal within the zone of proximal development, where the child can learn more successfully through scaffolded learning, such as with differentiated teaching strategy. Arthur et al. 2021 argue that a child's learning, if supported in a manner that stretches their understanding within their own ZPD, will maximise their learning capacity and support co-constructed learning with knowledgeable others, such as peers and teachers. Teachers are encouraged to critically evaluate and reflect on a variety of factors that can contribute to a productive learning environment. The social environment is crucial in a child's sense of belonging. This is achievable by providing multiple opportunities to create respectful, collaborative, diverse, and inclusive relationships with peers, families, and the community. The physical environment allows for thought to be put into the abilities of the learner and their families to engage in the learning spaces. It should encompass areas of quiet, introspective time, engagement with natural elements, group collaboration, physical activity, and creative experiences, as well as many open-ended opportunities. Lastly, the temporal environment allows for transitions and routines to be considered and adapted in a flexible manner that is responsive to learning, spontaneous activity, and a variety of pedagogical practice. Take some time to ask yourself the reflective questions on this slide. Piaget's cognitive development theory argues that children learn through an internal process where they are predetermined to reach each stage of development in a particular order, whereas Vygotsky's socio-cultural theory contends that each child learns through an external process where learning is applied through the scaffolded support of knowledgeable others. Neither theory is wrong or right, and developmental milestones are guides for practitioners to use in conjunction with many other factors. Play-based learning experiences promote diverse learning, with each child being supported to explore and be curious. The teaching of numeracy does not need to be done in a rigid format and can be woven into a variety of play-based experiences. The example used in our presentation is just one of many play-based numeracy learning opportunities and will be detailed further by Colin. Learning Outcome 1 of the EYLF guides us to support children to have a strong sense of identity. Having a strong sense of one's own identity increases well-being, thus supporting a child's diverse learning abilities. This can be achieved through the thoughtful inclusion of a child's home language, the provision of resources that support their cultural diversity, family structure, and gender identities. Creating a learning environment that promotes curiosity, safety, and exploration will allow for each child to be able to confidently engage with others and support well-being. Learning Outcome 2 of the EYLF wants us to ensure that children are connected with and contribute to their world. Children, particularly with English as a second language, are encouraged to investigate their own cultures and use this knowledge to supplement and support their learning. Place-based experiences that incorporate concepts such as numeracy can be experienced through activities that engage home language and non-verbal forms of communication that contribute to the inclusion of all learners. Thank you for your time, and now here is Rizza to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Helen. To reiterate what she said, differentiation is a key strategy that supports the diverse developmental needs of children across different age groups. It allows educators to adapt their teaching practices, resources, and learning environments to ensure that each child can access learning opportunities appropriate to their developmental stage and individual learning style. According to the Early Years Learning Framework, knowledge of individual children, their strengths and capabilities will guide educators' professional judgment to ensure all children are engaging in a range of experiences across all the learning outcomes in ways that optimize their learning. As stated by Margetts and Woolfolk, differentiated teaching adjusts instructions to fit diverse children needs, adapting content, process, product, and environment to match varying levels of readiness, interest, and learning styles. As educators, practicing the differentiation teaching strategy involves intentional planning, observation, and adaptation to meet each child's needs and support their development. Here's how we can effectively implement this approach in our practice. First, know your learners. This is when we observe children's interests, strengths, and developmental levels. Flexible and intentional planning. So flexible and intentional planning allows educators to adjust activities and routines based on the children's interests, strengths, and developmental progress. Scaffold children's learning. Use scaffolding techniques by offering guidance and support when needed, and gradually withdrawing as children become more confident. Encourage choice and autonomy, allowing children to choose activities or learning centers based on their interests and comfort levels. This promotes independence and ensures that they are engaged in a way that suits their individual learning preference. Create a responsive environment. Arranging the learning environment to be inclusive and adaptable ensures that materials and resources are accessible and suitable for children with varying abilities, including visual aids, sensory materials, and culturally diverse resources. Lastly, collaborate with families and colleagues. Here we gain insights into children's interests, abilities, and cultural backgrounds. By integrating these practices, educators can effectively use differentiation to create an inclusive, engaging, and supportive learning environment where every child's individual needs and strengths are recognized and nurtured. So, how your strategy can be used in ECE across each age group. So, incorporating movement and sensory exploration, for example, using songs, rhymes, and movement activities to introduce new concepts and reinforce learning in a fun, memorable, and engaging way. Another example is providing a sensory materials for hands-on exploration to cater to different learning styles. Adaptations and flexibility. So introducing concepts that are easy for children to master before moving on to a more complex task. Communications and choice. For example, using choice boards with pictures or symbols for children to select activities based on their interests, or speaking in a child's native language or using sign language as other forms of communication. And lastly, child-centered learning and play. So incorporating children's interests and child-directed play into planning experiences, also providing opportunities for exploration and open-ended play. Through this strategy, differentiation adapts instruction to individual children's needs by considering their zone of proximal development, developmental milestones, cognitive developmental stages, interests, learning styles, abilities, and cultural backgrounds. Linking to the EYLF, differentiation aligns with the EYLF by supporting the individuality and diversity of each child. It enables educators to tailor learning experiences to meet various needs and learning styles, ensuring inclusivity and meaningful engagement. Differentiation also promotes responsive teaching as educators adapt activities based on observations and assessments. Additionally, collaborating with families to understand and support each child. Overall, differentiation ensures that all children are supported in achieving the EYLF learning outcomes. Linking to the national quality standards. Differentiation aligns with the national quality standards by supporting personalized, inclusive, and high-quality educational practices. It meets Quality Area 1 through responsive and tailoring programming, Quality Area 3, ensuring adaptable and inclusive physical environments, and Quality Area 5, differentiation fosters strong relationships with children and encourages collaboration with families in Quality Area 6. Overall, differentiation ensures that early childhood programs are inclusive, responsive, and of high quality, aligning with the national quality standards. Now I'm going to pass you on to Colin. Thank you.
Thank you, Rizza. My colleagues Helen and Rizza have made great presentations in previous slides regarding their respective sections. I'm here to present how I utilize the differentiating teaching strategy to promote a child's learning during my previous placement. While differentiating has a wide range of meanings, a common definition of differentiating is to teach children based on their individual uniqueness and learning needs. The teaching strategy is also known as differentiation or individualization. I personally prefer to use the individualization definition because it's more specific and more explicit. During my previous placement, the child I chose is from a diverse cultural background and has a mild language barrier because his family doesn't speak English at home. So he loves playing outdoors, but usually on his own, enjoys his solitude. He doesn't engage in learning activities, probably due to his mild language barrier. So his numeracy is a little bit behind a developmental milestone. Considering the above-mentioned factors, I selected the one-on-one differentiating strategy to support his learning. The activity I designed for him is to learn the numbers from 1 to 6 using a dice game. I set up the activity using this yellow big phone dice. I knew the dice would help him to count, but wouldn't be able for him to learn the numerals. So I actually added these flashcards with numerals and dots. My initial intention was for him to roll the dice. I just use this dice and count the doors facing up and to match the flashcards. So I explained it in simple language and demonstrated to make him fully understand by showing him step by step. He wrote it and brought it to me for the first attempt. When I asked him to count the numbers of dots, which he did, he said 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I asked him to point the flashcard numbers, he couldn't do it. So I had to teach him how to count the numbers in the flashcard and then match the number of the dice. Then just before I was going to tell him to have another go, out of blue, he suddenly rushed the dice and held it and rolled his whole body with it like a dumb beetle, laughing loud. Oh, it was so enjoyable to watch him learn and play with great fun. I wish I could show you some pictures with his big smile. And he brought the dice to me. This time it's only one from my memory. And he pointed to this flashcard 1 immediately and said loudly and proudly. And then he did another dumb beetle action again. But this time, unfortunately, he wasn't that lucky. He actually hit the biggest number, 6. So I asked him to count it for me. And then he did 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So I knew I need to help him. So I held his finger to count from 1 to 6, and also show him the number flashcard number 6. to match the number of the dice. After a few attempts, he learned how to count numbers from 1 to 6 and also recognize numerals 2, 3, 4. It's very impressive. We both enjoy the learning experience. Now I will pass on to my colleague Yasemin for the final part of presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. When applying differentiated teaching strategies, it is essential to consider the temporal, physical, and social environments. Let's explore how these environmental factors can be applied using number and dice activities. First, temporal environment. The way time is structured and activities are organized plays a crucial role in how children engage and develop. For instance, using a dice activity where children roll a large dice and take steps according to the number rolled helps them build both numerical understanding and physical coordination skills. This approach can be adjusted to match each child's pace, making it inclusive and adaptable for different levels of development. Providing enough time for exploration and engagement without feeling rushed supports children's individual learning experiences, boosting their confidence and motivation. Structured yet flexible time management also allows educators to cater to children with varying attention spans, ensuring all children feel included and capable of achieving success. The other one is physical environment. Creating a well-planned physical environment is essential for encouraging movement, interaction, and exploration. The setup of the learning space should support children's natural curiosity and engagement. In the dice activity, having an open space for rolling and moving around promotes gross motor skills and spatial awareness. Similarly, for the pizza slice counting activity, materials such as numbered slides and colorful markers should be placed in an easily accessible area to support children's independence and decision making. A thoughtfully arranged physical environment can also include visual cues, diverse sensory materials, and quiet areas, allowing children to feel comfortable and confident while exploring new ideas and concepts. These setups ensure that children with diverse physical and cognitive abilities can engage meaningfully in the learning process. And the other one is social environment. The social environment of a classroom or room or backyard greatly influences children's social and emotional development. A supportive social environment encourages children to interact, share, and learn from one another. During the dice game, for example, children take turns rolling the dice and counting their steps, which fosters patience, cooperation, and communication skills. Teachers can further enhance the social environment by providing positive reinforcement and encouraging children to celebrate each other's success. Simple phrases like, "Well done, you counted all the way to 10," or "I love how you waited patiently for your turn," can boost children's self-confidence and promote a positive attitude towards learning. This environment helps diverse learners feel safe, understood, and valued, fostering a sense of belonging and community. These strategies ensure activities are adaptable and inclusive, supporting each child's learning journey. By combining structured temporal planning and engaging physical setup and a supportive social environment, teachers can create meaningful learning opportunities that cater to diverse needs and developmental stages. Supporting diverse learners using EYLF and VEALDF frameworks. When applying teaching strategies that support diverse learners, the EALF and VEALDF emphasize the importance of creating inclusive learning environments that consider the temporal, physical, and social aspects of a child's development. EYLF focuses on building positive learning experiences by being responsive to each child's interests, strengths, and abilities to ensure motivation and engagement. Similarly, VEALDF
advocates for flexible and adaptable learning environments that cater to diverse learners' needs, promoting respect, inclusion, and collaboration. For instance, through differentiated time management, educators and teachers can cater to children's varying attention spans and developmental stages, while the setup of the physical space ensures all children feel comfortable and competent exploring. Positive social interactions and teacher modeling help establish a sense of belonging and inclusiveness, enhancing children's social and emotional development. These strategies, aligned with the EYLF and VEALDF, support a holistic approach to diverse learning needs. And conclusion, incorporating differentiated teaching strategies and utilizing frameworks like EYLF and VEALDF enables educators and teachers to support diverse learners by creating inclusive and adaptable learning environments. The temporal environment ensures that children are provided with structures and get flexible time frames to explore and learn at their own pace, enhancing confidence and motivation. A well-designed physical environment caters to children's varying cognitive and physical abilities, fostering independence and engagement. The social environment, on the other hand, emphasizes the importance of positive interactions, cooperation, and sense of belonging, which are crucial for emotional and social development. By adopting these strategies, educators can effectively address diverse needs, promote equity, and create a holistic learning experience that aligns with the principles of EYLF and VEALDF. This comprehensive approach not only supports children's individual growth, but also contributes to their lifelong learning and well-being, ensuring that every child feels valued, respected, and included. Thanks for listening.